Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Now look, I don't often do this, and not because I'm reluctant to, but just because, well, we've never been in this situation before. I owe CNN an apology. I really do. I was wrong. I kept venting like a lot of other people. They're trying to rig the debate. It's so obvious what they're doing is clearly unfair. Well, they're clearly trying to help Joe Biden with all of these rules that they've implemented in the debate. That was my take, but now that the debate is concluded, I have to say, very, very nice. It's possibly the best thing that could have happened. CNN might have just got Donald Trump elected. It was actually that significant. What was supposed to hurt Donald Trump, I think in the end, actually ended up helping him. It kind of helped Donald Trump with a little bit of an image issue that he's got, and it also helped expose the clear mental deterioration of the Democrat candidate that is Joe Biden. We were crapping all over the Clinton News Network, but it turns out we should be thanking them. Thank you, CNN, whether you did it knowingly or accidentally. Surprisingly enough, this is exactly what Donald Trump needed. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so of course, the weeks prior to the debate, we were all talking about it. Then CNN did their whole presentation, presenting the tech.
If we go behind the podiums, you can see two green lights. When they're on, they signal to the candidate his microphone is on. When the green lights are off, they signal to the candidate his microphone is off. Now I want to give you a sense of what it will look like for viewers at home if a candidate whose microphone is off interrupts a candidate whose microphone is on. So I'm standing at one podium, and I'll ask Phil to come in and take the other podium. And so let's say I'm answering a question. My light is green, and I'm speaking. Phil's microphone is off, and his green lights are not illuminated. He's going to interrupt me as I'm speaking, and this is what it will sound like. My volume remains constant, while Phil's interruption can be difficult to understand.
Obviously, what Democrats were thinking is let's get the crowd out of the room so Donald Trump can't have his moments.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Let's also mute his mic so he can't interrupt Sleepy Creepy Piss Pants Joe like he always does.
Manufacturing went in a hole.
Excuse me,
one.
Chris. Wait.
Number two.
Chris.
Number three.
They said it would take... No, you were number two.
No.
Chris. They said it would take a miracle.
We're gonna shut him up and shut the people out. And there we go, Joe Biden benefits. That was obviously the thinking, but instead they tanked Joe Biden's campaign. Trump's obviously a little bit of an aggressive guy, especially in his confrontational approach. That can be a good thing, but it could also be a bad thing. In the realm of debating, it's a bad thing. I think Trump actually hurt himself in the 2020 debates when he kept interrupting Joe Biden or speaking over him. I think he didn't look great in a lot of those instances. And so you probably understand where I'm getting at. The CNN muted mic rule, in a way, kept him in check. Trump looked calm, poised, and most importantly, coherent. And that made a big difference for voters. I kept seeing people say stuff like this.
What's your headline regarding last night's debate?
Calm, cool, and collected on Trump's part.
And Joe?
Joe, he can do better. With as much time as he had, a week off, come on now. I mean, that's ridiculous.
CNN, in my view, took Donald Trump's weakness out of the equation. And on the flip side of that, what do? They flared Joe Biden's weakness like you can't imagine. Because Trump made a very serious tactical mistake back in the 2020 debate. He didn't let Joe Biden speak. He kept trying to dominate him in his character. I get it. But just think about it. The way you win against Joe Biden, it's not by trying to intellectually dominate him. Just let him talk. It seems as though the Trump campaign is really onto something here. I think everybody had a little bit of an aha moment after that debate. Actually, this is pretty good. Let the guy keep going. The Trump campaign's already taking advantage of it. They just released a scathing campaign ad, post-debate with only debate footage, and the entire thing is just 95 seconds of letting Joe Biden speak.
Folks, how are you? Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare, we're trying to provide housing for Black Americans. The impact on the choice, the idea that they're gonna, I'm proposing that everybody, the millionaires pay 1%. So no one I would not raise the cost of Social Security for anybody. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. and wants to get away with, get rid of the ability of Medicare
It's perfect. Thank you, CNN, honestly. Thank you for being so horribly dishonest, but also so incredibly stupid at the same time, and screwing up so royally, and doing what most liberals do, implementing regulations and policies that lead to unintended consequences. And in this case, the unintended consequence, well, it played out before our very eyes, now did it.
The universal reaction was somewhere approaching panic. Very concerned about President Biden seeming extremely feeble, seeming extremely weak.
Well, Lester and Savannah, there's no way to sugarcoat this. He delivered a performance that was at times halting. At times, he seemed to lose his train of thought.
There is a deep, a wide, and a very aggressive panic in the Democratic Party. They're having conversations about the president's performance, which they think was dismal.
That was painful. I love Joe Biden. I work for Joe Biden. He didn't do well at all.
Donald Trump won big time, and the format obviously helped. Joe Biden looks so freaking bad, and it wasn't even hard to do. Trump didn't even really have to lift a freaking finger. But let's not go too far with that take, because I'm noticing Democrats on Twitter are trying to run with this new defense for Joe Biden, that actually Trump didn't do well at all during the debates. No, Trump did very poorly. He's only looking good because Joe Biden did even worse. Okay, sure. You know, there might be a little bit of truth to that statement. Joe Biden certainly looked worse, but the idea that Trump didn't have a good performance? Yeah, not exactly buying that one. You know, Trump isn't necessarily the greatest debater ever, but he's not bad and he performed all right. And you know what the best part about Trump is? His policies make sense and he can speak English and walk around like a normal human being without being chaperoned. Let's call it the optics display at the end of the debate really tells the whole story.
Presidents making their way off the CNN debate stage. Looks like Jill Biden, the First Lady, has come out. Former President Trump walking off the stage. The first debate of the 2024 campaign and the earliest presidential debate ever now in the books and in front of the voters. Tonight, along with Aaron Burnett, the first word on what those voters might make of it from our political professionals, from our CNN Flash Poll and Swing State Focus Group. We'll be talking to surrogates, including Vice President Harris, getting fact checks from our Daniel Dale and new reporting from inside both campaigns. With me here, CNN political commentator Scott Jen.
Donald Trump, competent, healthy, in good shape, walks off the stage, a job well done. Joe Biden gets picked up and chaperoned around, looking confused, doesn't know where he's going, can't walk down steps. It's basically a metaphor for what happened. I just want to give a deep thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Clinton News Network for finally doing their damn job properly for once. Whether it was purposeful or whether they accidentally did their job in this instance, what they did was provide a quality product. Finally, they presented the actual truth to the American people, that Trump's badass and that Joe Biden belongs in some sort of facility. Whether that's an old folks home or a prison cell, I'll leave that up to you. But I'll say one thing that's for sure. This guy certainly doesn't belong in the White House, and I think everybody, at least most people with their heads screwed on straight, ended up coming to that conclusion after that debate. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.